Hi all and welcome to another Author Reads with your host me, D.M. Wright. I support Red Nose Day, and if you wish to as well, the links are in the description. You can find all of my works at dmwproductionsoz.com. Today we're going to be reading through one of my future works. So this one you can find on the website. It is called Uncle Ian. The synopsis is there. So it's primarily about a kid who wants to be a rodeo clown, but his family issues come into as a challenge. But you won't see most of that. That's in what we're going to be reading today. Camera has frozen. There we go, we're back again. Cool, so you can see that the setup story, so we haven't actually got chapter headings, but we'll get right into it because the story is done. If we see any mistakes, point them out in the comment section and we'll make sure that they're edited before it's published. Alright, we'll get right into it. I've forgotten how beautiful the view is from the hill, Alexander marvelled as he entered the house. And the river, usually dry as a dingo's, or dead dingoes, well, you know. But now it's flowing. Could our property be any more spectacular? The river's only going to fill and probably overflow soon, enough with the Christmas floods coming downstream, said Waffles. He returned his rifle to a line of individually named safes secured along the lounge room wall. The rabbits are already running wild, with their holes gradually submerging, burrowing a new place, then moving higher and burrowing again. Don't put it away, Gordon grimaced. Might need it for Harry. We could go for a hike through the forest tomorrow, Sonia suggested. We've got a lot of work to catch up on, Ian protested. Coffee, anyone? Could you bring it to my office? Asked Alexander, walking off. Sonia sneered before Ian could about her father. You've got a lot to catch up on. You've done bugger all but sleep all day. Ian, though, had already lost interest. He stared blankly, the corner of his lips glistening, at Alexander's much younger wife. Ellen caught sight of his gaze, twitched in surprise, then left the room silently, Ian and the doctor watching her until she disappeared down the hallway. I'm sure Dr. Mike won't mind taking my place, Sonia snuggled up to him, ogling his arms protruding through his short sleeves. He's big and strong. Mike smiled. I'll be happy to help. Do you know, Nana, mused Waffles, the sun is so warm, the birds are singing, and we are all living in peace. We're content. What else could we want? Tell me something, Mike made conversation with the driver. Ian directed the ute slowly over the undulating, unsealed road between the homestead and the milking sheds on the far side of the property. Like what? Anything new. Ian cackled. Nah, mate, it's as stale as a kangaroo's fart on a still day. Everything's the same old since Chrissy, or probably worse, and I'm getting pretty lazy. And fat. Ian presented a new stomach roll. Mike snorted. Welcome to adulthood. I've not been further than your house before, apart from the airstrip, he added. What are they for? Those sheds, Ian pointed. Guest houses for the farmhands. If they need to stay for long periods, but have no place to live in town, or get cut off by the flooding river. Does it flood often? Asked Mike. Phil, yeah, said Ian. Every summer when it rains in Queensland and New South Wales. Flood, though. Every couple of years. Do you want to call the cows over? And say what? They don't speak English, just call out whatever and they'll follow behind. Mike obliged and hung his head out the window, giving it his best go. Here, cowie, cowie, cowie. It's not working. Then came a whistle from Gordon, legs dangling off the rear of the vehicle's tray. Come on, lovelies, Waffle shouted. Chop, chop. The cows began skipping along. The voice of an angel, Mike chuckled. How's your father? He added. Ian considered his response. Doesn't say much, not since. Mike nodded. In the tray, Gordon noted Harry's well-being as they passed. Waffles gripped his rifle over a bump, then whistled for their collie to heel. Once in his element at the milking shed, Ian returned to fine form, commenting, critiquing, elaborating, complaining, reiterating, a galah with nothing else to do but squawk. With every cow he hooked up to the machine, he gave them a pat on the back as if it were his own, and needed no encouragement to rave and rave, though Dr. Mike felt no shame in furthering his zeal. "Tell me about the professor." Waffles grimaced and Gordon rolled his eyes. Both swept the manure from the shed and found other duties outside, not that that was enough distance to dull the eager 18-year-old's exclamations. "The professor sits in his library from night until morning as usual, keeps everyone up." He gave his best Shakespearean actor impression, elevating an imaginary skull. "Straining the mind, wrinkling the brow, we write without respite, or hope of praise in the future or now." Ian scoffed. "What a wanker! He should write his own biography. It'd make a great beer coaster. I can see it now. The boring life of a retired professor. I'd call it My Days with Gout. It's about a man stuck living on his dead wife's estate with his bro-in-law, a teenager who runs the farm while his lazy ass writes books no one ever reads. But he can't afford to live in town, so sponges off the farmers who paid off the mortgage, including his half-sister, we'll work that one out, and walks around the property like he's Hercules, son of Zeus, brother to Xena, warrior princess." Mike sniffed with a smirk. "You don't sound a bit jealous." "Jealous?" Ian shrieked. "What do you want about, Doc?" Mike raised his hands in surrender. "All right, mate, I hear no jealousy, none whatsoever." Ian pointed his finger with a snarl. "You're damn right. How could anyone be jealous of him, the lazy shit? For years he writes but no one reads. He copies other people's shit and hawks it like it's his own. Smart people have better crap to read. Dumb people don't even read." "Do you read?" asked Mike. "Cut the crap, Mike," said Ian. "I'm making a point." "He is good with women, though," Mike added. "Yeah," Ian paused. "He pulled my sister. She was way out of his league. And Ellen?" He whistled. "Bugger me sideways and call me Owl." "Only if you call me Betty," Mike chuckled. "How's he do it, the stupid old bastard?" Ian huffed, getting back to work. "But Dad loves him, thinks he's great, thinks I don't get him, but it's Dad who doesn't get him. I don't know how much Dad gets ever." Outside, Waffles noted Gordon's sigh breathing through his pursed lips, a controlled disappointment. The continued sweeping attempted to ignore Ian's voice. "That beauty, Ellen." Her name rolled smoothly off his tongue. "Dunno why she married the old fart." "Does she love him?" asked Mike. "Is she faithful?" Ian tensed. "No, and yes. Dunno. She hates him. Not having an affair sounds great, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, you call it immoral to be unfaithful to a guy you hate, but moral to waste your youth on an old man." Mike snorted. "When there's you." "Yeah, when there's me. Who else?" Hearing a murmur over the shed, Ian concluded. "Plane's here." Mike hurried away to aid the flying doctors, whose patient was yet to arrive by flooding country roads. Waffles chucked him the ute keys on his way past. "We'll walk back." Resting his head on a standing rake, Gordon watched the aircraft land along the farm's internal dirt track, the flattest part of the property, and left his son friendless and silent inside to finish milking. "I don't like hearing you talk like that," Waffles gently scathed on the trudge back to the house. "It's not right. It's childish. It's—" Ian stomped on ahead, himself carrying the rifle. "I'll shut it, Waffles. Would you prefer I bullshit and pretend everything's all bloody fine?" Waffles glared at the boy's dad, who remained silent, steps behind. "Well, if you're not going to say anything," he grunted, and caught up to Ian. My wife was life that..." Oh, let's work that one out. Unfaithful, and on our wedding night, mind you. So it's supposed to be my wife was like that. Unfaithful, and on our wedding night, mind you. But loyalty is loyalty. She left me for the photographer, and now where are they 50 years later? He's dead and she looks it. Waffles presented his wedding ring. But I'm still as faithful as ever. Gordon whistled and they both turned around. Standing behind a horse at a wire fence, he motioned for Ian to finish the job. No, 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 Ian shirked and ran over to hug Harry. You can't do it. He's just a little sick. He'll be okay. Waffles snatched the rifle and after passing it to Gordon to aim, petted the horse to say goodbye. He's in misery, Gordon grunted, offering back the rifle. Man up. Ian faced away. Please don't do it. I have to, said Gordon, and fired.